Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Elite Clockman here. Episode 14 of SKIBIDI Multiverse was released a couple hours ago, and it was the craziest multiverse episode so far without any question. And it was the longest episode ever that was published as just one part. It's crazy to think about, but Dom Studios really outdid themselves and was able to put together a 4-minute episode in a couple days without losing on any quality. They were actually able to up the quality and come up with some very unique toilets that were terrifying in this episode. And this episode really showed us a new side of the Titans and how this could be a problem going forward. We have many things to talk about in this episode, but before we get into the video, I invited Elite Cameraman to join today's analysis video.
Hello everyone, your least sus analysis YouTuber, Elite Cameraman here. Today's SKIBIDI Multiverse was simply mind-blowing. But before we get into the analysis itself, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Elite Clockman. You might already be subscribed to my channel, but this is a completely different one, so make sure to subscribe. Let's get the Elite Clockman channel to 200,000 subscribers today. Anyways, here we go. The episode starts with the exclusive leak Elite Clockman showed a couple days ago, and it shows one of the Clockman walking in a very cinematic manner. It looks like we are in the middle of a desert, and he suddenly looks at his right. We see one of the helicopter toilets with a black eye who is getting humiliated and being bullied by the Alliance members. One of these Alliance members is actually one of the most loved SKIBIDI Multiverse characters, the nail-gun Drillman. After his first appearance in Episode 9, more people were asking to see him, and it seems like he continues on killing helicopter toilets. But what happens next in this scene is something crazy, because we see a cameraman holding the head of the helicopter toilet to get a SKIBIDI schlop. We don't see what happens next, but the sounds we hear tell us enough about this situation, and you already know who I was dreaming of while I was watching this scene. But when the camera turns to the left, we see the Clockman being very disappointed, but suddenly the POV cameraman looks down, and something weird happens on his tablet, because it's glitching out, and we can actually see the Dom Studio logo appear on the tablet for a second, and it also changes to a weird symbol that looks like a symbolization of an eye for a single frame. Right after the glitch, the screen turns black and it says, "It's a trap." Does this mean that there is someone watching over them? Maybe there is an entity like the secret agent also in the SKIBIDI multiverse, and it's the Dom Studios character. They actually shared a version of their character before in Discord when the Dafuk Boom Strike situation was going on, and that might have been a sneak peek of what's about to come later in the series. We better keep our eyes open for any Dom Studios appearances in the series from now on.
I agree 100%, but who knows? Maybe he actually was in this episode and we couldn't catch him. There is also one more detail in this scene where the POV cameraman holds the tablet. His shirt seems to be dark blue from what we can see. And I don't remember seeing a unique dark blue shirt on a cameraman before. So this POV cameraman might not be dead yet. After what happened at the end of the episode, maybe after surviving this chaos, he'll turn into a new special agent. Just like how it went with Plunger Cameraman back in the day. After this scene, the POV cameraman shows the tablet and the message to the Clockman, and right when he is thinking about what to do, the scene transitions into the next exclusive leak I showed yesterday, which was of Titan Speakerman. If you want to be notified of leaks before the episode comes out, make sure to subscribe. This scene shows Titan Speakerman flying towards us, but his jetpacks suddenly stop and he lands down. As I said in my leaks video, this scene probably is after episode 12 where he started going back to the base after talking to Titan Cameraman, but this sudden malfunction of his jetpacks was weird. Was this done purposefully by someone? Is there a traitor in the Alliance who is tampering with the jetpacks, because in episode 9 we also saw Titan Drillman's jetpack being broken thanks to a post-it note behind him. Because of this, Titan Speakerman is still hurt here and he wasn't able to be healed yet. We can see all the spears piercing through him. Also, there was another small detail when he was coming down. We actually saw the POV cameraman put some headphones on to not be affected by Titan Speakerman speakers. This cameraman probably knows a fight might start because of the "it's a trap" message they just got on the tablet, and he isn't taking any chances.
Just as Elite Clockman said, I think this POV cameraman is a little smarter compared to other ones, just not as lucky as the other ones because of what's about to happen to him. But there might not be someone tampering with the jetpacks, and maybe Titan Speakerman just ran out of fuel. Because after this episode, it seems like Titan Drillman actually didn't have jetpacks, but he had nukes attached to him. Bro literally used a power move to destroy the trap at the end of the episode, but we'll talk about that later in the episode. What happened after Titan Speckerman landed was one of the most terrifying scenes ever, and it might actually continue on happening later in the series, but don't worry because I'll explain why. A large UFO toilet suddenly appears out of nowhere with its incredible speeds, and it seems like this is a rusty and upgraded version of the UFO toilet, but it's actually something even worse because a ghost-like female head appears out of nowhere, and it really looks like she came out of one of those horror movies. And the way she moves her neck with the cracking noises literally gave me the chills. Right after, she suddenly smiles in a very scary way and launches 2 of her normal rockets instead of the acid rockets, knocking down Titan Speakerman. Normally he probably wouldn't have been knocked out, but as we know, he was already damaged at this point. After getting knocked out, the Phantom UFO Toilet jump scares Titan Speakerman once more, getting to his face with one of the loudest screams battling his speaker powers. But it looks like Titan Speakerman's speakers are still higher decibels because it actually hurts the Phantom UFO Toilet, and she steps back a little right before shooting one of the acid rockets, and it actually affects Titan Speakerman's armor a little, but right when the Phantom UFO Toilet shoots the second acid rocket, Titan Cameraman comes out of nowhere blocking the acid rocket with his shield in slow motion. And the punch he throws at the Phantom UFO Toilet was so hard. The scenes we witnessed right after this point was something we've never seen before, and it seems like Titan Cameraman has lost it. He pulls the Phantom Toilet down and buries her toilet into the ground. He holds her head from the back and almost shoots his hand cannon, but right when he is about to kill her, she suddenly pulls out a weird claw tongue, just like what Scientist Toilet did in episode 67 part 2 to Titan Cameraman, and she rips off Titan Cameraman's lens protection.
Just like Elite Cam said, this is the first time we are seeing Titan Cameraman like this, and he almost gets infected once again because he was distracted. But Titan Speakerman gets in the way and catches the parasite toilet before he can get to Titan Cameraman. And we actually see that the Phantom Toilet has 2 claw tongues instead of 1, but Titan Cameraman pulls both of them off and gets even more angry, resulting in him changing Phantom Toilet's location. He punches her once with her right hand before he stops and suddenly changes his camera lens to a red one. This is the first time we've seen anything like this. I mentioned in my episode 12 analysis that Titan Cameraman looked more mad, but I didn't expect anything like this. Maybe this is a result of his grief because, as you guys know, he was infected and he was the cause of many deaths. This red eye seems like a killer mode, and blood literally starts punching the Phantom Toilet without any breaks, and even the Titan Speakerman looks surprised. After many punches, Titan Cameraman smashes the Phantom Toilet, exploding her, and it seems like after this his lens goes back to normal. Maybe he just had to let his anger out. Right after, Titan Speakerman comes next to him holding his shoulder, probably empathizing with him because he went through the same thing before. After this, they dab each other just like it happened in the original series, but suddenly a sound starts coming from the ground, and we know that it's Titan Drillman the second we hear the sounds. He gets out and everyone kind of seems surprised for some reason, but he just starts walking away without any care. And right after, POV Cameraman gets another message saying, "Retreat, it's a trap." This is kind of scary for him because this is the second time this has happened, and it most likely came from the Alliance this time instead of a glitch. And we actually see the Titans acknowledging this, and Titan Speakerman tries to start his jetpacks, but as we mentioned earlier in this analysis, it seems like he is out of fuel. Titan Cameraman decides to hold him and he flies away with Titan Speakerman.
They indeed like hugging each other, and I have nothing against it. But right after this, we saw that they left Titan Drillman alone here, and the nailgun Drillman tries to warn Titan Drillman with all he has got, but Titan Drillman doesn't seem like he cares at all. Blood is made of Sigma material, and he never gives up and never back down. The clock helicopter arrives and the agents start running, but right before we can make it inside, something explodes in front of us, and the clock copter leaves us, but at least this explosion doesn't affect us. Right after, we see Titan Drillman fighting against some toilets all alone, but when we turn our head, we can see that there is a huge army on their way to Titan Drillman, but Blood doesn't even care and starts using his core laser, and it seems like he has one of the weakest core lasers because it can't even go through a simple toilet shield. But this doesn't stop him and probably makes him even more mad since he is a hothead. He literally decides to cause some earthquakes and break the surface of the earth to get rid of these toilets, and it actually works. but suddenly some speaker sounds start coming from another toilet, and since Titan Drillman doesn't have any headphones, this is like torture to him. But what happens when you torture someone that's got no chill? The answer is, he gets even more mad, and he literally attacks this speaker toilet like an animal. There is one detail about this toilet which is weird. It has that weird white glowy eye like the mutant toilet in episode 13, and we actually learn the reason after Titan Drillman smashes his head a couple times with the toilet. And when he drops the toilet's head, it's clear that it was a robotic head. We now know for certain that the white eyes are an indicator for robotic toilets. But what about the weird female toilet we saw at the beginning of the video? I think both these special toilets relate to the SKIBIDI Apocalypse folder we saw in episode 13, and it probably had classified information about these toilets. And for some reason, the analysis YouTubers needed to get rid of the evidence. I don't know the exact reason, but I'm sure that we'll find out soon. It seems like the toilets are cooking up something crazy, and we might start seeing some of the craziest toilets ever. And right after Titan Drillman kills this speaker toilet, the awaited moment comes and we see Scientist Toilet teleport to the scene.
This scene was actually leaked before the episode came out, and we knew that Scientist Toilet would use Titan Clockman's hand cannon in some way, and it seems like it actually works on the Titans, which is crazy. Scientist Toilet looks like he has 2 acid arms, a laser arm, a clock cannon, and 2 magnets, which is crazy to think about, and this Scientist Toilet has the same red eye as the one that died in the original series. While Titan Drillman is frozen in time, we see another crazy toilet arriving at the scene, which is literally pouring lava all over the place. I don't know how that makes sense, but I guess it does. This toilet also has some weird eye gadgets, but we don't really know what they do. Seconds later, we see the Titan Drillman pushing out his drill, and we actually knew this was something they could do before thanks to episode 13. But he doesn't stop there, and suddenly 2 little jetpacks come out and his head leaves his body, just like what TV Woman does, and it seems like Titan Drillman had a clock under his head, which probably allows his head to be unaffected against time attacks, just like how the agents are not affected when time stops if they are wearing a watch. Titan Drillman leaves the premises as fast as he can with his head, and it's certain that he is safe, even though he just left this whole body. We see the Scientist Toilet looking very confused, but we all know what happened right after. The nukes behind Titan Drillman suddenly started going to the sky and alarm noises started. The second Scientist Toilet understood what's going on. He literally dipped, and nukes hit the ground as fast as they can, exploding everything on the premises. I don't know if the POV cameraman died, but if he did, he was one of the unluckiest cameramen out there. This sacrifice attack probably destroyed Titan Drillman's body, and unless they have a body ready for him already, it might take a while before he comes back. But that was one of the craziest episodes ever. Hopefully we keep seeing Dom Studios' SKIBIDI Multiverse get better and better. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to like and subscribe. Elite Clockman out.